When I was a kid, it was magical to me. I'd gone to watch a band at Liverpool Empire with all the older kids in the street, and that band was The Jam. Paul Weller came on the stage, launched into a song, All Mod Cons, and then my young pre-teen self just went, that's what I'm doing with my life. And I've been fortunate enough to actually do it. My lineage was like The Clash and The Jam, and they don't have guitar solos in their songs, you know. I have no interest in guitar solos. I find them excessively boring. I like short, direct emotions in the music that I write and the music that I listen to as well. I'll be listening to Billy Bragg, Bruce Springsteen, an absolutely fantastic Irish singer called Damien Dempsey, who knocked me for six about 3 or 4 years ago. I never thought I'd ever find his music as beautiful as his ever again. I thought I'd heard all the great music, but Damien is something else. We were unemployed for 4 or 5 years when I left school, and I was unemployed on purpose because I was learning my craft every single day for 4 or 5 years. I'd play my guitar, I'd write songs, I'd go busking, I'd go and play with other people, and I learnt everything I had to learn, and it was absolutely invaluable. And I wouldn't have been able to do what I did later on unless I had that space to do it. I used to go to Chester, which is, as you know, is quite an affluent city. And I used to go there every single day. I'd go up on the roads where all the shops are, and I learned how to sing busking. And I wrote the first Pele album, lots of the riffs and the tunes. I wrote that busking. It was great, and people would stop and watch. A lot of foreign tourists coming through, a lot of girls, which is always, you know, handy. It was a great time in my life. I learnt everything I had to learn there, and it stands me in good stead now, you know. And I can get up and sing songs in a room to anybody because of those days, you know. The first band that I was ever in was a school band with schoolmates, and we got on the TV and we got offered a few deals, and they fell through at the last minute and stuff like that. And the others kind of, I remember they came round one day and they said, we're all leaving the band because, you know, we don't feel as though we're going to get anywhere. You know, and I'm in the early 20s or whatever. And I went, okay. And they all formed again the week after without me. So I essentially got sacked. I just thought, well, that has really inspired me to go and do this properly now. I didn't use any musicians from my hometown. I went and used musicians from a wider area, and that was the best thing that I ever did because they brought so much more to the table. We got the name Pele, we got a manager, and we did everything by the book. We did great demos. We went out, we got a live following in Liverpool. We would play to like hundreds of people before we were signed. And the buzz just became so much that it was undeniable. And we were an undeniably good band. We just knew it was going to happen in some form. The deal came along. It was a brilliant day. I'll never forget any of it, you know. And then we got to do every kid's dream that you've ever wanted to do. And we weren't as successful as we wanted to be, but we were successful enough to keep it going for 5 years. It was extremely exciting. And it's tough for kids these days because there aren't as many record deals going around. The first 2 albums cost £100,000 each. Now, we could have made 10 Amsterdam albums for that because the technology's gotten so good. It's made it available to everybody. I'm fortunate enough to have got in under the wire, I suppose. It's hard to wonder how the next generation is going to do anything with music and not just have it as a hobby. When the second album came out, we played over in the Soviet Union. And that was just amazing. Playing like at midnight, and it's still light because we played up near the Arctic Circle. I'll never forget that. And then being driven back to the hotel at like, you know, 2 in the morning, it's light. And we nearly ran into a huge big moose that was on the road, which is a killer for the locals because the legs are such a perfect height. So if you take its legs from under it, its body goes straight to the windscreen and kills you. So we managed to stop in time and didn't kill us. But that would have been a great rock and roll death, wouldn't it? They just come to a natural end and you think there's kind of no point in this going on. You know, you've all spent 5 years in a tour bus and you hate each other by this time. You know, and it's impossible. You can't carry on. We'd all be friends now as we met. But, you know, there's a reason why bands split up. And that's because all bands hate each other. It's just the way it is, you know. I knew I was never going to go away. I knew I was going to get back on the horse. And I'd been writing lots and lots and lots of songs. And I was driving myself forward again, going, okay, well, you know, the whole Pele thing, it didn't last forever, it didn't work out, and I'll learn from the situations that I found myself in. And I'll get a new band together. And there was a guy called Tony Kiley, who was in a band called the Blow Monkeys, who would end up doing some drumming for us at the end of Pele. And we became firm and fast friends. He kind of said, do you mind if I have a go at producing this stuff And then for the next 5 years, all we did was go into a studio down in Hidweli in South Wales, and we just recorded. And that's kind of what we did, and fished around for a deal and almost got another deal, and then we didn't. And we got to about 2004. My cousin Johnny Baller moved on to lead guitar, and everything fell into place. We got a deal again. John Peel picked up on Does the Strength stuff on Merseyside, and before I knew it, I was back in the game.